In my later years, even though I'm a lot better with my health and I work really hard on it, I went through a phase probably when I was about 29. I was working out a lot. I really wanted to be fit. A byproduct of that was obviously losing weight, but that was not my first intent. My first intent is I wanted to be fit and strong. And then I did this hip injury that I now have. I have labral tears in my hips, which is a real pain in the ass, to be honest. And I stopped training, and I was so paranoid about putting on weight. Here I was thinking that I was training because I was being fit and I was being strong, but that reward of weight loss was still somewhere in the mix. And when I look at it, I think because as a woman growing up in that society where we are rewarded so often for weight loss, it was kind of a really hard pattern to break. So yes, I was fit, yes, I was strong, but I still had that reward of I'd lost weight. So then when I had to stop training, I was just so anxious about this idea of putting on weight. Well, the exact opposite happened. I lost more weight. At the time, when I look back, because a little after that, I went to a new doctor and found out that even on the surface, I was functioning okay. Underneath, I was really sick. And he used the words ticking time bomb. And he said to me, you know, you do all this work on the surface. I've always been with a naturopath and a nutritionist and all kind of things. But underneath, my disease was brewing pretty badly. And I realized that the reason I was so thin was because I was so sick. I remember on my birthday, I think I was 31 or 32, and I had these shorts, these denim shorts, that just kept getting looser and looser and looser. And I remember being able to pull them off without even undoing them, non-elastic waist. And that was actually alarming to me because I was like, oh, something's going wrong here. I'm not even exercising and I'm not even watching what I'm eating, and the weight is just dripping off me. And I remember saying to myself, I would so much prefer to be bigger and be healthier. I was napping through the day. I couldn't even get through a day without sleeping. I remember thinking to myself, you know, I just want to be bigger and be healthier if that's what it takes. And, you know, it did take a lot of hard work. And then when I started training again, I put on a bit more weight. I was, you know, putting on muscle and things like that. And again, I struggled. And I went back to that whole conversation I'd had with myself about, you know, I would rather put on the weight and be healthier than be this thin and be this sick. But again, I struggled because I'm a woman that grew up in a society that awards weight loss, awards, reward, whatever word you want to use. So I still struggle with it. You know, I try harder and I try to catch myself out that when I look at somebody and their body and I think a certain thing, even being in a relationship, I find what's really hard is that, you know, my generation, I'm 35, my partner's 41, we grew up in a society that was very much controlled by the patriarchy and this control of women and this idea of men being able to have an opinion on women's bodies, not being able to or feeling like they should, and commenting on her attractiveness and within that her weight. And I find now I have conversations with my partner all the time about that. You know, he might make a comment and I might say, well, you know, are you making that comment because you think she's unhealthy? And we have conversations around what is healthy for a woman, and should we be rewarding people who are thinner where they still could be unhealthy? Should we be rewarding people that are just who they are? It's really none of our business what your body looks like. We shouldn't be making comments about your body. Unless you're my best friend and I'm concerned about your health and that's why I'm making a comment about your body, then no one should really be commenting about your body. It baffles me on social media why people are always making these comments about women's bodies in particular, and even criticizing them when they feel that they've put on weight, or they feel they're chubby, or feel that they're bigger, you know, all these words that we use. And it's like, why is it any of your, what's the word, you know, any of your right to comment on this? Why is it even a factor in the mix? So I continue to challenge all these ideas about women's bodies in particular and my own body, and I do get better with age, but I still struggle, and I want to be more transparent with that. I have really good days. I have days where even as my body ages I go, whew, that's happening. And I think it's one of those things that we actually all need to be more open and transparent about that with the people around us, because you just never know when someone is looking at you and thinking that you're just always so confident in your own skin and you've got this down pat, but really you're having your days of struggling as well. And one of the best things that I have been able to do with this beautiful friend of mine is be transparent about my own body concerns. And when I've had days where I don't feel so great or I'm struggling with something, I can say something to her, and I've received some beautiful comments from her in return that give me a little bit of that confidence boost of like, yeah, I don't need to listen to this stuff in my head, and this is who I am, and you know, I'm proud of that. So I thought it was about time to be a bit more transparent about body image issues and encourage you all to have those open conversations with other people in your life, regardless of their gender, because on some level, I think we all experience issues with body image, being conscious, wanting to look a different way, wanting to fit in with a certain type, group, size. So if we don't have the simple, straightforward solutions yet, because it isn't something that just kind of disappears overnight. It's a process and it's a journey. But one of the things that we can do on that journey to help each other is to be a little bit more open and transparent about it. So I hope you enjoyed this vlog, and I hope that you got something from it, and maybe you might be a little bit more open and transparent about your body image journey in return.